Okay, so people still wanted to see the pumpkin, and I saved it. Look, this is it. This is a cauldron, as you can see. And there's like stuff wafting out of it. On the left and on the right. I saved it the entire week in the fridge. It's looking a little bit dry, but it's okay. I kind of kept it because, as you can see, there's still a lot of that stuff inside, like the flesh. Did take quite a bit out, but apparently there's lots more to be had. But okay, that's the pumpkin update. I did post it on Discord, but some of you guys didn't actually go on Discord or don't know how to get there, so that's fine. So I thought I'd show it here, and that is the pumpkin. Now let's move on to the rest of the video. It's going, so we're just going to start right now. As you can see, I've got a little setup here. I've had this sitting in my attic for ages, actually, because I wanted to start doing my vlogs here a while back of it, but I didn't have all the stuff that I needed. And these, by the way, the huge lights that you now see the result of, not the actual lights themselves, but these are the ones I was talking about during the vlog about my clothes sorting. Actually took me a while to actually bring the clothes to the recycle place because I don't like dragging stuff back and forth. And of course with the corona stuff I was like, I don't know if I really need to go to the thrift store necessarily. It's not like I need anything in particular. But last weekend it had been a while, so I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna go. And then I took all the bags into the back of my car and drove over there to drop them off. So that's that. Anyway, so it's November now. I've put up a nice little fish garland back there because I like fish. I also have this one over here, ta-da, one of those Beanie Baby fish. And of the same line, I also have this incredible thing right here. Look at this. Ooh, it's a narwhal. I don't actually do anything with these guys. They just kind of sit here as like a backdrop or something, even though you can't really see them. But they're here, so imagine that they're sitting over there. And of course the fish back there, because they were available at a store near me. And I thought they were so funny, and I didn't really know why I would want them, but I just want them because they were so weird. Also, one of them fell off during the process of putting them up, look, see? And they have like a little metallic shine to them, so that's kind of cute. So that one gets to go somewhere else. Maybe this bear can hold it. Oops. Bears like fish to eat them, but still, can you see that one? You can. Okay, there it is. Great. So that's that. Anyway, other news, it's Saturday again. I just showed you the, the pumpkin that I made the Thursday before last weekend. It didn't win. It did get some interesting reviews. There were a lot of other people, of course, carving different types of pumpkins, mostly faces, as is per usual. Mine was one of the few that actually had something different, but there was somebody who had something more different still, and I think, even though, I think I also have a picture of it with like, oh, the fish is going. Okay, fish has gone back to the ocean. The pumpkin is very flat and also a little bit wide, so I had to make a design that would match that, and I didn't want to do a standard face like I think I said in the previous video where I was carving the other pumpkin with the bat. That pumpkin is now rotting away because it's been outside for a while, and it's sitting in one of my planters on my balcony so it can serve as compost at some point. The one that I showed you, I'm probably going to like empty out a bit more because there's still quite a bit of pumpkin meat in there, or flesh, or whatever you want to call that, so I can make another soup because that's been going quite well. In other news, it is November, and that means it is NaNoWriMo month, and that means I am currently in the process of writing a story with varying degrees of success and ease, I would say. I've been doing this since 2010, this annual writing contest, and when I looked at my stats, apparently I only skipped in 2012. I don't know, probably something to do with the end of the year or something, maybe, or the end of the world. I mean, 2012 was the Mayan calendar prophecy after all, which didn't actually end up happening, okay? Spoiler alert. So, yeah, that's the one thing I skipped. I feel like I did write something, but I can't remember what it was, if I did write something. So if I one day decide, okay, actually I did write something, and I find some type of proof in my writings folder, I'll make sure to post that as well, and that would make it this year the 10th time, so the 10th anniversary of my NaNoWriMo participation. Hopefully I'm also going to have a successful NaNoWriMo. Now, knowing myself, I'll always manage to get to that 50,000. All I do is just sit down and write. But the main challenge for me is to actually finish a story. So I can write all the 50,000 words, but then I also need to have a story at the end of it, or close to the end of it by the time that NaNoWriMo is finished in December, that I can actually work on and do something with. And this year's story is going to be a crime story. I usually do like fantasy stuff or sci-fi stuff just because it's fun, and fantasy allows you to write all sorts of crazy things in there that will give you extra word count, because you can describe all sorts of strange creatures, stuff flying around, wherever it is that you want. No rules means lots of words, but this year it's going to be a crime story. It's going to be an incel. I don't know if you guys know what incels are. I'll link a video in the description down below where Dr. Grande explains what an incel is. So there's this incel guy. So he works at a college and he's interested in a student there. Of course, he's not exactly student age. He's not super old, because I have the backstory being that he got kicked out of his house by his dad at some point. I'm also going to have to write that in the story. And that's why he no longer has money for college, and he drops out, but he needs money to just survive, so he ends up taking up a position at the college as a janitor. So eventually he's like at the college the entire time, surrounded by people who used to be in his classes and stuff like that. So it's a whole drama thing. And eventually, like I said, he ends up obsessing over one of the students many years later into his job, and she ends up getting a boyfriend that is not him, obviously. He can't handle that, and then things just go terribly wrong from there. So that's basically the whole gist of the story. He does get caught, so don't worry about that. He's not going to get away with it. And because he's an incel, he has all sorts of interesting thoughts and feelings about the whole situation. So I also take people into that world as well. And is that supposed to teach people about incels? No, not really, but I just thought for this type of story, with the outcome that I have in mind, it will work well, because certain people have certain dispositions, and for this story, that disposition in particular worked quite well, so I thought I would do that. So I'll be doing that for all of November, writing every day. I'll try to get the minimum amount every day. If you write about 1,700 words per day, then you end up making the 50,000 at the end of November easily. Officially, you don't have to write 1,700, but you have to write exactly 1,667 words per day to make it exactly the 50,000 by the 30th of November. But I like to have a little buffer, so I usually set my limit to 1,700, and then I'm a little bit over it usually. Sometimes 1,750, sometimes 1,800. Yesterday I actually had like 2,300 or something, so I had a big chapter then. So I like to build up a little bit of a buffer, so that if there is a busy day, I can just take that and not worry too much about my word count. I can maybe have a day with just half the word count that I should normally write and still be ahead, because you do build it up over time. First of all, it's not like I'm competing against other people. You always compete against yourself, so don't ask me if I'm winning any prizes, because it's not a thing like that. I'm just competing against myself. And in particular, I'll have one, I guess, as far as I'm concerned, when I actually have a story that has a beginning, a middle, and an end, instead of just going on endlessly like my stories have done in the past. So that's that out of the way. Speaking of word counts, some people, they tend to write a lot in one day, and then they just don't do anything for a few days, but I can't do that because that makes me nervous. Also, the NaNoWriMo website has this thing where you get badges if you update every day, so you want to make sure to update at least once every day. That also helps people to write every day instead of just writing like a couple days at the start of November and then a couple days at the end. And some people are so crazy that they just write like in the last week and then manage to get 50,000 in just a week's time. Not me. So I don't think I'll be doing any writing streams like I did last year. I'm pretty sure people would like to see what I'm writing, but currently the character that I'm writing is not really a lot of fun to read because he is not a very nice guy. So it's not going to be very... It might be entertaining, but it might also be upsetting in a certain way because it is a crime story, so something bad has to happen at some point. And things can get very bad very quickly. I don't really want that on a live stream. Anyway, that's it. That's what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the day as well, because I'm not done yet. I have to, I think I'm about halfway at this point, so I'm going to try another chapter in a couple of minutes. If you want to join NaNoWriMo still, you can go to nanowrimo.org, and it's not too late because we only really have one less week now, and you can definitely make it within 3 weeks if you really wanted to. It's not really that difficult, and it's also not scary. Some people really don't like to do that because they feel like people will be reading their stuff, or they're embarrassed about the amount of stuff or the type of stuff that they would be writing. You don't need to be embarrassed about that. I keep pulling out things here because I just washed my hair. In case you noticed, it means that loose hair tends to be all over the place and it starts itching me. That's why I keep doing that, but okay. Anyway, so yes, it's not like people are going to judge your writing. The only person who gets to read it is you, and if you want to share something that's on you, you don't have to do that at all. Nobody has to know what you're writing about. And the main thing is to have fun and to basically stretch your writing muscle. Maybe one day you'll write a really cool book, and then you'll have had lots of practice in the November months leading up to that. Anyway, so that's it for this week. Hope you're having a good time. Make sure to stay healthy and stay safe. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye for now.